I knew that I always wanted to own a home. That was always the end goal, but it's not easy. It's not easy. So are you ready for your new room?
Yeah.
I feel excited to have our own space and place, a yard for Hazel to run around in, for us to have family and friends over, have cookouts, right?
Yeah. A trampoline.
Yeah.
I finally get my own room.
A house is just somewhere that you're kind of just living, whereas a home is really where family builds memories, love. You ready? You ready? We outgrew our apartment. It became too much. I wanted space for my children to be able to just have their own rooms, but there are a lot of barriers. I grew up dealing with poverty, so it just made me reflect on the perseverance that it took.
People want to be able to control where other people, especially people of color, live. You have a town, for example, that was split off from another town because the KKK didn't want the black residents to be in the same town. And yet, these are still the same lines that we use to govern our communities today. When I was in elementary school, we were one of the only Jewish families in the school, and that was very isolating. By the time I got to high school, the town became a lot more racially and economically diverse. And I started to think about why that was, and that's part of how I ended up doing what I'm doing now.
Hi, can you tell me who you are?
Sure, I'm Adam Gordon, and I'm a staff attorney with Fair Share Housing Center. We're an organization based in Cherry Hill that since 1975 has worked to make sure that every town allows for its fair share of homes that low and moderate income people can afford.
Fair Share was founded by Ethel Lawrence, called the Rosa Parks of Affordable Housing, and the other people who led the original fight. Mount Laurel was a rural community that was a major stop on the Underground Railroad. And it started to develop into a suburban community in the 1960s. And like many towns around it, blocked affordable housing from being built to try to displace the black community that had long been there. And Ethel Lawrence said, there won't be a community left here if we don't stand up and do something. And so the lawsuit came about, it became a much broader movement. In 1975, a New Jersey Supreme Court decision said that every town throughout New Jersey has to allow for its fair share of affordable housing. But many suburban communities reacted to that by coming up with policies that would have the same effect.
I remember the original neighbors in that area, and everybody knew everybody else. And when you got new people in, they had different ways. You know, the neighborhoods change.
Ethel Lawrence understood that just because we had won a lawsuit didn't mean that we had actually won, and said we need to set up an infrastructure to continue to organize, continue to litigate, or else that victory will fritter away. Ethel Lawrence had a transformational impact.
Planning can be a powerful tool to exclude. It can be a powerful tool, by that same token, to include. My mom was a single mom raising the two of us. The town I lived in, I wouldn't say we had a wild amount of diversity. I see my role as trying to further undo that legacy of racism and exclusion. We're creating units, but we're also helping to create new lives. We are putting affordable housing in places that everybody would want to live, because a sense of home is a basic human right.
Did you see the couch now? It looked nice.
It does?
Mm-hmm.
This look like what we imagined. Ooh, can you move this stuff, baby? I feel like I make it look easy for them. But deep down, they're proud. I hear them boast to their friends, my mom can do it. But they would never tell me that.
So, what does it mean for someone to get their fair share? Fair share stands for the idea that everybody has a place in every community. We all have a part to play in figuring out how we move forward as a society. The highest form of success in many ways is for a community to embrace affordable housing and embrace broader racial and economic diversity.
I'm in a better financial place to be able to not only purchase, but sustain a home. I did my research, and here we are. Affordable housing made me feel able to provide for my children. I'm just really excited for their futures.
Mount Laurel was just named the 16th best community in the United States to live in. And it's done that with integration as its strength. And that's the dream that Ethel Lawrence had. That's progress.